Welcome to Tirefoam Gaming. This channel is all about creative builds, useful tips, and the occasional "what was I thinking" moment. Gotta redo all these. They're one too low. Subscribe and let's see where this goes. Alright. Welcome back to some more Satisfactory. Making aluminum ingots, and I know the next step for these is to make the Alclad aluminum sheets and the casings. And then from there, I don't really know exactly what I'm supposed to make. I know there's some milestones and other parts that I'll make, so I think what I'm going to do today is just to process these aluminum ingots into aluminum casings, Alclad sheets, and the aluminum casings. And I guess I should add, it's been a little bit since I've been playing, so I've been busy with some things. So thanks for hanging in there. So step one, I'm going to move these sinks, these awesome sinks over from here over into here. So now they've been moved over just to make some room for where I think I'm going to put this building. All right, so here's kind of what I'm planning on doing here. I need copper ingots too in order to make Alclad aluminum sheets. So I'm just going to make some new ones. I'm sure I can find copper somewhere not too far away from here. So I don't need that much. I'm going to split this in half for my aluminum ingots. So 300 to make aluminum sheets. So I need 100 copper ingots in order to make those. And then I'll make 300 aluminum ingots. I'll use 300 aluminum ingots to make 200 aluminum casings. I was trying to find a pure recipe for copper ingots so I could use some more of my water here, but I don't have it yet. But we're just gonna stay simple and use it this way. All right, so to do this and have a nice style through these different buildings, I'm gonna make a blueprint back there. That's just gonna open up the floor space to be something more like this, but without this platform here. So I want to stack the assemblers in here two assemblers tall, because I can fit 6 along this path right here. So I'm going to make another little blueprint that's going to just be kind of empty like this, and then I'll make assemblers, and I'm going to be able, I think I can stack them to 2 tall, so I can have 10 assemblers in here. So let's see how this is gonna work out here, what I'm planning. So I have this empty building set up that is the same style as all the rest of these buildings, and just with nothing in it, and no bottom platform at all. So I'm just kind of figuring out how much space I have in here, and I think if I use 1 foundation block wide, so I have 4 smelters in here that I can use. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra blocks here that I can use and stack some assemblers on top of that. I'm moving along here on my blueprint. It's getting pretty tight, but I'm getting these logistics all squeezed in. 4 assemblers, 2 in the bottom, 2 on the top. And I'm splitting off my resources, I guess, for each side. So I'll have everything being fed down the middle, and then it'll split off into all these different. So it'll be a distribution system with my stuff coming in through the middle, and the bottom one is going to be my stuff coming out. I was having some challenges figuring out how I really wanted to do that. So I've got a little mini lift that's going to be over here, and this regular lift over here. I'm going to have a piece coming through, a belt coming through from there, and a belt coming through from there, just like that. And then it'll distribute itself along this path right here, if that makes any sense. I think it does. I think it's gonna work. Oh, and I decided with that setup like that, I'm gonna do the smelting out at whatever outpost I find. All right, and I think that's probably pretty good. I'll do some finishing touches once I get it all installed and that kind of thing, but fairly simple. I'm not doing anything too crazy. All right, let's see how we go here. So this goes in something about here. I think I got it right on there. No need to nudge. 1 more down over here. I'm gonna go down here for this one. And Let's not get trapped in here. I'll have to stand on top of my splitters maybe and get it close. I think that might be close enough. Yeah, perfect. Just nudge it over once. Now we have 8 assemblers in this building. Well, everything's hooked up. I notice there's some kind of weirdness here too, where I'll have some clipping, but yeah, and I am gonna fix these. Instead of just being right next to it, I'll be one more bit over there. Yeah, and that looks a lot better. And now we can go find some copper. Alright, so I found a little bit of copper and some iron over here too. So what I want to do is make a side post right here where I'm just going to stop and get copper. And I might try to figure out how to stop here and get iron too. What I want to do is send my train all the way around and just pick up copper along the way. And then I'll be able to drop it off in various places as needed. And yeah, the train station is coming out pretty cool. So what I did is I have one stop on one side and one on the other side, just kind of really tight in here. But I'm going to reserve this one for copper, and that's coming in from right over there. So I've been playing around here with my train station, and I think I've got this figured out with my pathing and blocking. So before, if I didn't have this loop in here, because I want this station to be able to go either way, depending on just where it needs to go. So starting in here, right at this intersection over here, is a path signal. That's going to either let it go this way or this way. When I'm entering into my station, I need to block this right here, so that way my train can come up here and stop and let this other train clear out from here. Now exiting out, I need to do another path signal, because it can choose to go either straight along this rail or come along this rail. Now that all makes sense because that's where decisions have to be made on which path it wants to go, but you also have to look at what does it mean for the rest of the path. So when I'm coming in this way, if I'm coming straight down, I thought before, because I have an intersection right here, that I could just have another block right here and a block over there. So a block to block this intersection and then a block to clear the intersection. But because I have a path here, I also need to have a path here. So these two are paths going in that way and going out that way to reserve this entire path structure and then to release it out at the end. Both of these stations are now in, and all my pathing and blocking looks to be functional. So that's exciting because I was having quite a time with this one. Alright, so I have one node up here of copper, and this is a pure node. So what I think I'm going to do is just make a little blueprint that's going to just handle all of that into copper ingots. So I'm going to cram as many of these in here as I can and just be purely industrial. No fancy cool designs or anything, just for throughput. And there's a quick little outpost for smelting. So open door on this side, a hallway that runs through, and then just a view of all these smelters on the inside on both sides. And then here's the main entrance to the building. You have your product coming out, your raw material going in, and then there's a little service entrance underneath this balcony over here just to get in and be able to access all of these different things. Power will come out over there. Alright, let's get them hooked up and get some copper finally made. Alright, well, I just noticed I've got a bunch of trains stuck here. So this one's at a block, and I think this is what's holding everything up. It's blocked here, and from something up the rail, and then it's also blocking this intersection, so this guy can't come in. So let's go up here and see what we've got. Well, that's a problem here. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. Let me see. So that one was coming out of that area, and this one was trying to go in. It's blocked here, now it's open. I think this one's trying to go in to there. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure why both of those are going in. I think I need to make a path instead of a block through here. So let me fix that up. 3 trains running back here. I have Deep Flow Courier, which is bringing oil back for my power generation. Then I have Red Oxide Express and I have Silica Rift Express. These two are going at this, yeah, over here, this train station. And then both of those are doing that. So this one should come back through this way and come back around. So I think they just got caught up to each other as some pathing signal here for a Y intersection. It goes into a block over here, and then a pathing signal coming out and going that way. So I think if I have something coming up this way or going down that way, this will be blocked, but this path will also be blocked. Let's see, here comes a train. We are green and it should run down that way. Now see, this one's, I think this is waiting for a path reservation. Hopefully we're not going to crash into anything. Yeah. Now this one, I want to go to red line Silica Rift. Then I want to go to red oxide. Okay, save, turn on self-driving. Now this should stop because there's a train down through there. Now, this is going to block this one. Now this whole section is blocked. It's going to go in there, and once it comes up here, it should stop. It's just that section there. All right, sounds like it just went. Yep, here we go. So that train cleared this rail. Now this is blocked in through here. So now it's blocked. So it's going to sit here and wait on this main line. But I think we're okay now with putting a pathing set up in here. I think I'm going to put the smelter outpost plant right here in this corner. Alright, just a little trick that I kind of just figured out. If I take this lift, I can clip it into the ground. And I'm going to have it, if you can see where those arrows are, I'm going to have it pointing in that way and pointing out towards my little building there. And then I can take a conveyor and I can snap to it still if I just hover over on the top and like it's just going through the ground. So it'll all be hidden. It's, we're never going to go down there. Don't tell anyone. All right. And now we are making copper ingots. And those are just going right over into this train station. And now we got to deliver them over to my aluminum factory. All right, let's go. So I've got my train station in. I've got my signal set up, I think, correctly. Lots of pathing and stuff I'm learning here through all of this. But this is where my copper ingots are going to come in. And they will be delivered down underneath into the logistics floor. Come up in here where all of my other aluminum is coming in. And then we'll make our Alclad plating in my assemblers here. These are all full of aluminum and ready to start building. Let's get the train set over and we will get this going and promptly sink all this stuff. We are almost making all the aluminum parts. And the train is here waiting patiently. So let's get it started on the driving. All right, so we're gonna go into the train station. I'm at Echo Ridge Copper Tap. We are on CU line haul number 71 because it took that many tries to get it going. And we're gonna go to the CUAL Compliance Center. So let's edit this one and we'll go ahead and throw in CUAL Compliance Center, hit save changes, and let's go. All right, now we're green and we're going to continue on. Should be a relatively short trip. Looks like we're going into the station and this should unload. Now I'll check on this to make sure we're going to make our plating, but I want to see if my signaling is going to work here. So this should clear and come back out that way. We're clear over there, going back. Let's just see if this goes back through. We are blocked now because that train was coming through. So once this one clears, and we go. My signaling looks good. The train is waiting for all of the blocks to clear. So now let's just see if this heads back to Echo Ridge, this short little trip, and gets my next load. And we're coming into the station. Beautiful. Alright, so now in here we are receiving our aluminum, our copper, and this is the output of the Alclad aluminum sheet. Anyway, we're making all of our stuff, and now we should be just sinking our Alclad. So that's it for this one. We took a little bit of a detour to make that little copper spur out there and an Echo Ridge, and now we are actually making our Alclad. Next up, we'll have another building just like this right over here, and then I'll be making the other aluminum pieces that we need. Be sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more gaming adventures with Tirefoamcan. See you next time.